Gurg, Gurg, I brought you another one.
Oh.
Another what?
Get in there.
What?
Get in.
What? Okay.
Sit in the chair.
Right,
Confused.
here's your chair. Here's your docket. Do you need a coffee? Too bad!
All right, you're gonna read that docket, kid. You got it?
What is read?
He's already off to a great start, Gurg. I think I picked a good one with him.
Fake it till you make it, Gobbie.
Okay. Happy to be here.
We're good? We're all in one place?
Yeah.
We know what we're doing?
Yeah, we know what we're doing.
How can we be in one place when there are three of us?
Holy shit. Gobbie, write that down.
What is right?
Welcome to the Gurg Ragin Initiative. I'm your host, Gurg Ragin. I'm here with my co-host, Gobbie. Say hi, Gobbie.
I am Gobbie. Hi.
And special guest today is Dr. Atlantes, Rutherford.
It's good to be here with you, Gurg. How have you been, big guys? Stop bottom treated you well?
I mean, as well as you can be expected. You're, bound to a Demi plane and forced to, run a Scrycast. But it is the best goddamn Scrycast in the league.
You are darn tooting on that one, my friend.
Well, let's get straight to the news today. I think we're gonna have a pretty long one today. Gobbie, what's in the news today?
Cormier. Is that how you pronounce Cormier and the purple Dragon Knights -open war?
All right, now we're talking. Wait, it's fine. We were just talking about the Purple Dragon Knights. Oh man, I'm really glad that we're on Cormier's side. The league is on Cormier's side, right?
I guess. I don't keep up with how these war things go. I watch. Pretty explosions. Makes for a good time. It's like fireworks.
Yeah, it's like fireworks. Boo. So, the Purple Dragon Knight's about to get wiped out by Cormier. Exciting times.
Think there's anybody placing bets on those?
I have my own fantasy league going.
Did you pick the right team? Did you draft a couple of Purple Dragon Knights into your own? You got to keep it diversified, or else you're too focused on one team, and you're dependent on their results. It's awful.
Look, I've totally been in that same situation. I had a lot of money riding on that last cycle during the Blood War, but who could have thought that Baylor was going to get kidney stones? I mean, what the fuck?
Dude,
Gobbie always plays both sides, so Gobbie always comes out on top.
Gobbie,
good job, Gobbie.
I like this Gobbie. This is a good Gobbie.
Let's see what the Travelers League has been up to this week.
What else do you have on there, Gobbie? What's on the docket?
One moment. Something about chasing wild sheep.
Oh, my companion, Dr. Shine Bright.
Your name is on this.
I know my name's on it. I was the one who gave that mission.
You want to give us a breakdown on what was going on with this sheep and the Shine Bright?
Look, this Shine Bright fellow has been a pain in my ass ever since he showed up as my roommate in college. Just the worst. Oh, didn't do his dishes, pile of clothes left around, up all night on his scrying stones. Just
kept on taking your components without asking.
Yes.
So you went to the league and you put a hit out on him? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I didn't put a hit on him. Like, I just
should have put a hit out on him.
More efficient.
I'm not that uncivilized. If I wanted a hit, I would just let you out of this chamber and just send you onwards, and you could take care of him, because I can't get close to the guy. You know how this magic stuff works. It's just, he is a man out there who has graduated school, has become, one of my rivals in terms of magic, and well, I just can't approach him at this point, because he'll ping me from 5 miles away if I just send some low magic travelers to deal with him.
Hits are civilized. Uncivilized is if Gobbie comes at you with a rusty fork.
It'll work, but it'll take time.
Gobbie, are you going to come after me with a rusty fork?
No.
That's what I thought. I was worried he could have been in peril. I just sent them to check on him. They came back, they reported everything was all right.
So they went out on a wild sheep chase, is what you're telling me.
Yes, they did. They apparently found this guy just having a whole town with sheep running about the place. Apparently, one of them was packing a scroll with it and offered it to the party. Big problems with polymorphs.
Wait, sheep don't have thumbs. How can they offer them a scroll?
It held it in its mouth.
How could it talk?
No, I'm not sure. Maybe just held its head up to them and or tossed it down on the floor and then spoke to them.
Sheeps can't look up.
The sheep are very smart. Watch Gobbie when he goes to the bathroom.
But look, apparently this Shine Bright had made a wand of true polymorph, just polymorphed himself. Complete accident. And like I said, total idiot from our time in college.
Oh, Water True Polymorph. That's, Duralaxel was in here last week. We actually talked about Wand of Polymorph. Weird stick with the frog at the end, right?
Yep.
Do you know why they stick a frog at the end of it?
You know, I've wondered that for myself for years now. Why is there a frog at the end for true polymorph? And honestly, the only conclusion I've come to is I think it just has something to do with the fact they needed an animal, and that's the only one that's of the right size and proportions to fit on a stick.
Frog on stick is goblin delicacy.
You know, well, depending on the size, I don't know. Give me a big enough stick. I can put any creature at the end of it.
Well, Gert, experiment time. When we get done
Yeah.
here, let's get a large enough stick, and we'll put an elephant on the end of it, and we'll let that be your wand of true polymorph.
All right. What else? Where else we got reports? Gobbie, do you got one?
Mirabar? Gobbie has family in Mirabar. Had family in Mirabar.
I'm your only family now, Gobbie.
Gobbie appreciates. Dark dwarfs in the mine. Travelers went down and kicked them out.
How did they kick them out?
Why would they do that? That sounds rude.
Mine not belong to the dark dwarfs. Oh, travelers ran into ropers. Gobbie hate ropers. Gobbie lost 3 friends last week.
I'm sorry to hear that, Gobbie. Ropers
Sorry to hear
are
that.
just awful.
They dumb. Don't poke rock.
Tell you what, Gobbie, you make it through the stock hit, I'll get you more friends.
Pinky promise?
Yeah, sure, give me that.
Ah! Gobbie better now. High 4.
High 4.
Ah!
Dr. Rutherford, this one seems a little squishier than I first realized.
Yes, I think we may have to. Take him outside of the demi-plane once we're done here.
We go for a walk?
Yes, Gobbie, we go for a walk, and you're going to tell us all about the flumps.
We're gonna go for a nice long walk there, Gobbie.
Last report.
Go right ahead, Gobbie.
Looks like they trying to pull the plane of fire to the how do you pronounce this word?
It's the material plane. That's my bit. You can't just pull the plane of fire out. We need that.
Such ramifications. These Thay morons, always trying something new or weird and hopeful that it will work, without thinking of any consequences for the greater world. Could you imagine?
Global warming bad.
Yes, Gobbie, you get it. Could you imagine watching the Great Glacier melt because you pulled an entire plane full of fire into the prime material?
And wait, hold on. Why is no one talking about the prime material plane of fire? It's gonna cool down. That's not cool. Fire's supposed to stay inside.
The plane of fire cooling down is cool. That's problem.
That is a problem, Gobbie.
But I mean, look here, friends. Worst case, the plane of fire gets pulled in here. It takes a few thousand years, and eventually we re-achieve equilibrium with this plane being nothing but scorched earth, and that plane being primed for habitation. You just got to give the time, and let the system equalize.
You know, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yes.
You know, it's a big circle. Oh, wow, that's beautiful when you think about it. So, in a way, whenever I devour my enemies and then I return them to the earth and they become the grass and then new enemies eat it and then I devour them, it's just a cycle. It's just a cycle. Never
Yes,
ending.
yes.
That's beautiful, Gurg.
Thank you, Gobbie. So I assume that they stopped these global terrorists.
Yes.
Most fortunately, yes. And some travelers came back with some nice tans or some dehydration. Nothing the doctors couldn't fix up. But now, if we want this place to heat up, we're just gonna have to wait for the emissions from the Silver Marches to take care of it.
Oh yeah. I'm sure that'll work out. All right. I believe it is time for our ad break. All right, sponsors. Do we have a sponsor this week? Do we? Yeah, Gobbie. Do we have a sponsor this week?
Gobbie, I told you to get a sponsor on our way here.
Hey, Dr. Drag Gobbie from Cave 2 here.
Gobbie, I put you on the Spelljammer, and I told you to find a sponsor on the ride over. What were you doing?
Having an existential panic attack.
Gobbie, what do I pay you for?
You do not pay, Gobbie.
What do I let you live for?
Serving Gurg?
Yes. What's this? Oh, what? There's a bit of parchment coming out of the stone.
What's it say, Gurch? What's it say?
Um. Well, I think this is our sponsor for the week. Has your DM given you a hard time? What's it?
Is this a sex thing? This sounds like a sex thing.
Do you feel like you are treated unfairly compared to other players? Like in sports? Are they talking about sports?
What in God's name is this?
Gobbie plays sports?
I don't know. Just like some gold pieces fell out whenever it came out, so I'm gonna read it. Hi, I'm Gary Oak, JD practicing rules lawyer. If someone has sucked the fun out of your D&D game, rained on your character's parade, or harsh critiqued your homebrew, like beer,
This
you may be entitled to compensation. I promise I will fight to ensure no one at your table has any fun. Call my office at 1-800-NOF-UN4U. We won't settle for anything less than minimal enjoyment. What is this? Gobbie, what is this?
I don't know.
A DM? What's a DM? Who's Gary? D&D, do not decapitate. Why would you play that game?
Gobbie plays that game. Gobbie is very good.
I'm not.
Oh, this whole thing reads like it's sent to us by some Asmodeus worshiper. Oh, that's got devils written all over it.
Get rid of it.
Ugh.
Okay. Never talk of that again. Ugh. Too goddamn meta up in this demi-plane. Holy shit.
So then Gobbie said, "Your head's stupid." And then he died.
Do you still have his head?
Mounted on my wall.
Good for you.
Gobbie is very proud of his collection.
Was that what that ugly deformed thing was on the side of your cave when I walked in?
Maybe.
Oh, I'm quite surprised.
We are joined today by Dr. Atlantes Rutherford. Dr. Rutherford, thank you so much for coming into the Scrycast today.
It's my pleasure, Gurg. As an associate of Dr. Stoutbottom.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. You're not the first person who's reacted whenever I said that name, but regardless, anything I can do to help you out, I am here for it. This has been a source of great enjoyment listening in on your podcast, and I'm glad to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. That warms my heart. So, Doctor Rutherford. Now, you are a doctor. Tell me about your doctorate. Is this a medical doctorate? Is this philosophical? Where did you get that title?
It's philosophical in nature. I did a great amount of research, particularly focusing on some of the spells that I'm able to cast and kind of the link between them. And I started pondering through it, and I looked through at the spells I was casting. I noticed that there's primarily a lot of fire and radiant forces coming through and acting as a conduit to them, and it made me wonder what the connection between the two was. What was the line that separated something from being radiant like the sun versus that of a warm flame on a campfire? Eventually, what my research found for me was that all radiant damage is just a extreme amount of heat coming from fire.
Fire really hot. Can Gobbie have doctorate too?
By those standards, we should all be doctors, shouldn't we?
Do you care to go into that a little bit more? Because could a fire become holy at a high enough temperature? Is that?
In some regards, it could. It depends on the blessing upon the fire and who you are trying to channel the source from. What I primarily focused on is, say when a vampire steps out into the sun. They are immediately scalded and burned, but there's no guarantee that the sun is constantly powered by lathander like that. It could be a different source, and so what I theorized is that, well, the sun is a giant burning ball of flame, and if we get enough fire in one place, we can pump out some radiant on top of it.
And you were able to prove that theory?
I was indeed primarily looking at one of the spells that I'm actually proficient at that allows me to double cast and use different damages on it.
Where did you get your doctorate?
I primarily studied under at the host tower of the Arcane, where I currently preside as provost for the Department of Evocation.
Provost, can you go into that title?
I'm like a department chair. I sit over and I make sure that the curriculum we are teaching is appropriate and follows all the rigorous standards required to attain a degree.
So if you keep making the curriculum harder, does that mean the provost is moving the goalpost?
We typically try to refrain from making the curriculum any more difficult than it is, because the last thing we wish to do is to bar entry for otherwise remarkable students who can't make it or succeed under the stress that may exist on, the issues of going to college.
As a former citizen of the Nine Hells, the college industrial complex is the most evil thing I've ever seen.
Oh, it's quite vicious on students. I have hated it, and I've worked tirelessly to raise funds and ensure that scholarships are available to all who may need them or require it in order for them to attend school at the host tower.
Well, I really support that, because the way I see it, the more young people we have out there that can blow up a city with a thought, the better the world will be.
Tell that to the Silver Marches.
Oh, I will. Do you, continuing on this discussion of magic, on a broader sense, as a learned person, do you have any comments on the nature of magic in the world and how it should be approached by the common person?
I think our magical blessings, whether it comes from I, who was born with these gifts, a wizard who has studied tirelessly day after day to perfect his craft, or even a warlock who's brokered a deal with some extraplanar entity or god, I believe that magic is one of our greatest gifts as a society, and we should use these gifts to our well advantage. If we can cooperate and just work together with our magic and stop, well, harnessing our fire to blow up buildings or using lightning just for the simple fact of a dragon's approaching us, and well, we don't want them to do that, and instead used it to industrialize or harness energy beyond our wildest thought, we could easily lift the entire continent of Faerun, for that matter, out of poverty.
It's funny you saying lift in the terms of magic. I am reminded of a particular archmage who he lifted his whole city up into the air and then
The,
proceeded to drop it.
the lost city of Netheril. It is a extremely tragic accident. I've sent countless teams in with Icewind Dale, looking and seeking out for the city in hopes of discovering their secrets and seeing what technology and magics we can find there that we can use to improve our society today.
Go to the rubble to see what you can steal so you can inevitably do your own civilization. Gotcha. So, speaking of different forms of learning magic, so you were not a wizard, right?
I'm not. I was born with the capabilities of using fire. And apparently, we later on discovered it was the blessing of some god. And, well, the host tower taught me how to focus it.
So you could not say, for instance, I wanted to learn how to cast spells. You wouldn't be able to help me in that regard.
I could not teach you the same way a wizard could. I could not sit down with a book and talk about the methods and the means for castings. But I can give you helps, tips, and pointers and help step you through it on your own ways of channeling magical energy, and hopefully you can find something out of it in your own path within magic through that.
So what is it like being just built different?
Let me tell you, Gurg, it's remarkable. College, especially my undergraduate, was a breeze. I watched countless wizards stay up all night studying, flipping through books. Meanwhile, I was partying and walking in the next day, aced every test I took.
All thanks to a small loan of 1,000,000 mana from a god.
Yes, all thanks to that small loan. Paid back in full, by the way.
Gifted child.
Gifted child without the anxiety of being so.
I don't believe you. You know what? Here's a fun one. What is your favorite spell and why?
It is one that I was capable of using thanks to the divine blessing upon me. One commonly used more with those of clerics or paladins of nature. And that is Flame Strike. I very much enjoy it because it supports the link that I was talking about earlier. It will let you swap between radiant and fire type damages when casting the spell. And in some cases you can cast both.
Very versatile.
If I had if I had to pick another one, however, I would probably pick Counterspell.
The big nope button. I
The
understand.
big note button. It's extremely overlooked in terms of usage because, well, it's not flashy or fiery like fireballs or a giant lightning bolt or heck, even something like a power word kill. But
Hmm.
you can use it to shut down any spell. And any time that I've come into magical fights with other wizards, particularly that of the Hushed War, it proved invaluable to just be able to stop somebody from committing an atrocious act at a moment's notice.
Like when Gobbie stabs somebody before they can swing their sword.
Yes, exactly
You
like
see
that.
an opening, you take it.
Exactly.
Have you ever had a counter spell counterspelled?
Oh, here we go. We'll get into this story. So, you know the other doctor here. I'm not going to mention his name because, well, obviously it's triggering to you, Mr. Gurg.
I appreciate it.
When we were going around and we were fighting and taking down those liches and saving the world, there came times where we would get counter spells stacked 5 or 6 high, and we didn't even know who was counterspelling who at that point. These higher level magic users would just go counter would cast their counter spell. I would cast it. I would be left there standing, and they'd counterspell the counterspell, and then Gringar would counterspell that one. Another sorcerer would on top of that, and it was just chaos.
Did you accidentally counterspell yourself?
I've never accidentally counterspelled myself. I've actually never attempted that.
Gobbie is writing down.
Thank you, Gobbie. Any big new projects in the pipeline for you, Dr. Rutherford?
Currently, I'm very proud to announce that we just actually finished up gate upgrades at the Travelers League. Previously,
Oh,
previously we could only use the gate to travel around the prime material, primarily focused in Faerun, but through the help of a dear friend now named Charity, we were able to upgrade the gate to not only allow our travelers to warp around and move in secret, but it also allowed them to travel to extra planes such as the plane of fire or water, or even past that into the nine hells.
oh, maybe I could use a field trip. Maybe bring back some buddies. I want to before we wrap up your interview. You mentioned Fireball. I heard a rumor of a particularly, I will say, justified and strategic use of Fireball during a plague involving you, Dr. Rutherford.
We don't speak of that, Gurg. We do not
Oh,
speak of that.
oh, we don't speak of that.
We
Can we
don't
can we
speak of that.
sp- can we speak about the second Fireball right after the first one?
I'm going to say no on that one as well, Gurg. I prefer we not speak on that anymore.
Can Gobbie learn Fireball?
Do not teach Gobbie Fireball.
Tell you what, Gobbie, if you cut that, I'll teach you Fireball.
Well, one last thing to get into before we wrap up. Partnership with the league. What sort of services do you provide them?
I am a part of the league as a magic consultant. I'm available to any of the magic users available there, or even non magic users, to discuss the nature of magic, how it functions, how it works, and help them maintain and control their own specialities.
So you have an open door policy for anyone who wants to know how close they have to be to a wizard before they can just punch their face in.
Yes, yes. I run office hours from 11 to 12, and then any time after 4, and then any time outside of that by appointment.
Excellent, excellent. Always good to have a resource. Listeners out there, don't squander it. You have a great person to learn from here. All right. Well, again, thank you for your time. We're going to go into mailbag. All right. Now remember, folks, if you want your letter read on the Gurg Ragin initiative, send them to gurgragin at gmail.com. Sink your scrying stones to gurgragin at gmail.com. Excellent. Gobbie, what do we have in the mailbag today? It's right. It's right. No, not there. There. Yeah, that one. Yeah, grab that one.
2 mails.
All right.
Mail. 2. Mail. Mail I. Letters.
It's so wonderful watching people learn common.
Hi, I'm Tilda Sandsweep, owner of the shop at the Spirit Soaring. I just wanted to say I love your show, big fan so far, looking forward to the next episode. I heard that you had Jarlaxle on here, and I would love to be a guest too, or maybe an ad deal. If you want to talk, we can talk. I'm always here in my shop, just waiting for people to come by. Anyway, my question, Mr. Gurg, what exactly are you? If that's not rude, that's probably rude. But yeah, anyway, thank you, Tilda. Gobbie apologizes, no idea what that was.
Thank you, Gobbie. Very coherent. Tilda, first of all, thank you for writing in. Always glad to hear that people are enjoying it. Uh, Now, what exactly am I? Why, I am the host with the most, babe. Or to be more specific, I am a Toggle Rook from the Nine Hells. My people are a fusion of demon and orc and raw charisma, all put together into the perfect Scrycast host. Thank you so much for writing. Let's hear number 2.
Follow-up letter.
Oh, follow-up letter.
I am the mate of the gnome whose question you answered last week. My family is a tribe of kobolds. They would 100% absolutely kill him, and I would not be happy if they did.
Okay, I just want to take a moment and just say, in case it's not hasn't explicitly been said, I am not legally responsible for anything you do with my advice on this Scrycast. That
Nope.
is all.
Do not come to the owners of this plane either. We are not responsible.
This disclaimer is retroactive.
I am not responsible for any eviscerations unless they were very cool. Continue reading.
For my own question, what in the nine hells is an aboleth? We apparently saw one on the plane of fire, but no one told me what they were.
Oh, you know what? I think that is an excellent question. And I think that it is time for a brand new segment called Gurg's Gritter Gorner.
Oh, by the gods, I picked a great day to a special guest.
Where did that music come from?
My brain! Alright, Gobbie, can you pull up a picture of Aboleth, please? Pull it up. Alright, thank you.
But this is an audio show.
Oh, that is a horrid looking thing.
Aboleths are the big dick OGs. Don't let their weird squid shtick fool you. These 20 to 40 foot long eels are some of the most powerful psionic creatures in existence. For a long time, they were the only gods we had. When the intelligent races were beginning to take shape with their even smoother, squishier brains than the ones they have now, the Aboleths reached out with their mental tentacles, as well as their physical ones, to completely dominate their minds and control their will. It was really, really cool. But then the gods came and broke up the party, and here's the thing. They remember everything. You see, Aboleths have a genetic memory, meaning they have the memories of all their ancestors floating around in their big brain that runs along their spine. That's right, it runs along their spine. It's very weird. Not only that, they also absorb the memories of those they consume and like to spend their time going through their Rolodex of lifetimes. Sometimes Aboleths will spend years just running through different memories and lifetimes of their great eel. Fun fact, Aboleths are intersex. When they want offspring, they just turn down the lights, lock the door, and Now, remember how I said they were the closest things to gods and they have perfect memory? That has led to their one and only desire, to overthrow the gods, which, same. They can be found in ancient underground lakes, primordial secret oceans, and the elemental plane of water, where they demand and often receive worship. If you ever meet one, try to keep in mind that they can see into your mind, finding your deepest desires and promising you all that and more for your worship. And slavery. They rarely deliver. If you are ever forced to fight one, I hope you're not going it alone. They can play with you like putty, and you might need a helpful friend to give you a good whack upside the head to break you out of it. I give Aboleths a never forget out of never forgive. Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it, and you better hope I never get out of here. Bye-bye!
Gurg, he's breaking for it.
Hey, you!
Leave me alive!
Hey, come here! You
No!
get back here!
Teach me fireball!
Come here! Down! I like that one!
Ah, we'll get you a new one, buddy. You'll be okay. There's I'm like a department chair. I sit over and I make sure that the curriculum we are teaching is appropriate and follows all the rigorous standards required to attain a degree.
So if you keep making the curriculum harder, does that mean the provost is moving the goalpost?
Sorry, do you want to try that again?
I do.
Well, there's our blooper.
Okay, hang on. I do want to try and do that again. Oh god. Okay, 1 second.
Oh my god.
I don't even know what you were trying to say.